I'm very happy to be here this evening. Just now we had a very beautiful introduction to the subject by Shri Mukesh Bhai. I don't know why he has chosen me to speak on this subject. We are monks and we are supposed to be beyond all relationships. But perhaps he might have read about Sri Ramakrishna's example. Sri Ramakrishna gives an example that when two players are playing chess, there is an onlooker who is not playing. Sometimes he comes to know the game much better because he is seeing from an objective point of view. So perhaps that might be the psychology working. We are monks, we are not married, but then the husband comes to me with his problem, and after some time the wife comes to me with her problem. So I can see from an objective point of view. That might be perhaps the reasoning for which he has selected me the speaker, I don't know. But yes, we as monks have got one definite advantage, that since we are away from the society, since we are not attached to one particular group, so we can belong to all groups. Now, as far as the people here, all of you gathered, I don't know why you have come. You have come here to waste precious 90 minutes or invest, I don't know. Now, since you are thinking it to be an investment, I want that you should get some return. You must get some return. Now, when I am talking to you, it's a very wide cross section. So I would like to divide the groups. Teachers are there, the parents are there, the students are there. So very difficult to divide like that. Of course, one convenient way would be to divide into two groups, some from the Mars and some from the Venus. There's a book just as come as men from the Mars and women from the Venus. But that would be limiting ourselves to only one spouse relationship, where we have got a lot of relationships. So I tried to divide in three groups out of you. You know to which group you belong, you will be, of course, come to know, you will be able to know. Number one, some have come, all of you are interested in relationship, that's true. Otherwise you would not have come here to invest 90 minutes or waste 90 minutes. Now, first group is, they want to know about relationships because they want 3P. What is that? Profit, pleasure, and popularity. We want to have very good public relationships, we want to have good many friends, and then we want to have good customer build-up so we can get profit, and of course we want to have some friends from which we can enjoy and have pleasure. This is number one group. For that group, IQ is enough, and all of you are having good IQ. So I will not spend much time on that. There are so many books available. Only one thing I will share. I went to one of the industries and the supervisor asked me, "Sir, what to do? How to manage the boss?" I said, "There is a book, How to Manage Boss." Read the book. But anyway, I will tell you one thing. Keep a small box of Amul butter. Of course, not literally, but little bit of buttering everybody likes. So what is the harm in telling, "Sir, your son came 12th, he became first class 7th, please accept our hearty congratulations." There are various ways, tactics to win over the boss, to win over the friends. You just now heard Dale Carnegie has given a lot of suggestions how to win friends and influence people. All of you have read the book. So, which is dealing with IQ, that group. So I'll not be giving much time to that. There is a second group of people sitting here who want relationship, but they want genuine relationship. They have seen to it that if you have genuine relationship, then only there is harmony in family. Then only there is satisfaction in mind. They want peace of mind. They want a long-lasting relationship. They want a harmony in family. So they want 3H. 1. The other group was wanting 3P. This group wants 3H. What is that? Happiness, real happiness in life. Second, harmony. Harmony in family life. Harmony in corporate life. Harmony in society life. Everywhere they want harmonious relationships. Genuine harmonious relationships. And third H they want is health, physical and mental. Because most of the time we find ultimately it boils down to poor health, blood pressure, heart, this, that problem. Most of the psychosomatic diseases coming from the poor management of human relationships. That is the second group that will require not only IQ but also EQ. And you know about EQ. Now the third group is there, which requires relationship not only happy, harmonious and also healthy, but they want everlasting relationships. They want a sense of fulfillment, everlasting relationship. They want infinite happiness, infinite joy, infinite peace, because ultimately a human being cannot remain contented with finite joy. That is what our scriptures say. For the third group, IQ and EQ will not be enough. Third, SQ will be necessary. So, I will be trying to devote some time. I will be first trying to have some sort of a comprehensive package which will be available for all the three groups, which will be common for all the three groups, and then try to see whether some specific services can be given to other groups. Now, as regards the topics concerned, beautifully chosen. What a beautiful topic name. Nurturing relationships, the art of sharing and caring. Nurturing relationship is like nurturing a plant, nurturing a sapling. So, with this simile, we would try to see how relationships can also be nurtured. It is like nurturing a small sapling. Now, when you put a sapling, first of all, the soil should be good. So, the relationships which we want to implant, the person who is trying to have the relationship should have some basic goodness within him or her. Because that is the soil on which the relationship is going to flourish. Second thing is, it requires fencing. If you don't guard it by a fencing, then the cows will come, goats will come, and they will eat away the plant. So some sort of fencing, guarding the plant is necessary. But for how much time? Till the plant has grown to a certain height. Afterwards it becomes so strong, Sri Ramakrishna says, afterwards even if you bind the elephant, no problem. Then there is no fencing required. But in the initial stages, that fencing is required. Similarly, when relationships we are starting, at that time, guarding is necessary. And that's why small children, when they are growing up, they require guarding. And so their parents are called guardians. So actually they are guardians. And guardians are required till the children have not grown up. But guardians want to remain guardians throughout their life. That is the problem. And when the plant grows up, it refuses to be guarded and it wants to throw away the fencing. That is the one major problem of family problem. The guardians have to remember the children are not their children. As Khalil Gibran said, Your children are not your children. They have come through you, but they are not yours. Your duty was to guard them. You have guarded them. You have cared for them. They have grown up. Now you must give freedom. If you don't give freedom to the sapling, to the plant, after it has grown a little more, then it will not be able to grow. Not only that, it will also break the fencing that had come on the way. And that is what happens. Shattered. The parents are shattered. What is this happening? Nowadays the children are not listening to us. The young generation, how much disobedient. This is the type of feedback that you get because you forgot that they were not your children. They were the children sent by God to you for a specific period of time for guarding. That time is over, now let them go free. Of course, you must be concerned about their welfare, and so you have to give a little package of suggestions with love. That's all that you can do. But when we want to hug them too tightly, so much so that they feel suffocated, then the problem starts. This is what many youngsters come to me. Just the other day, one girl told me, Swamiji, the problem is this. My mother loves me so much that it has become a problem. I feel suffocation. Because then she won't allow me to go out of Rajkot to go for studies, higher studies. There is no. She will not allow me to go out of this one. She's always scared about me. What will happen? And so whole of my personality development has stopped because she loves me too much. Always guarding. So this is a problem. So guarding is necessary, but fresh air and sunlight is also necessary. So that freedom has to be given for nurturing the plant of relationships. Similarly, for any relationships, whether it is between husband and wife, whether it is between children and parents, everywhere the relationship in the beginning requires a little bit of disciplining, following certain rules and regulations, certain do's and don'ts, but then a time comes when it is to become an informal relationship. Then only you can enjoy. Always telling to Mummy, please give some vegetable. Thank you. Mummy, give me some dal. Thank you. That is not our culture. Our Indian culture, we feel so hard to heart. Just one look of giving that message of gratefulness is enough. Why do you want that formalization? Formality is needed in the beginning. When the relationship exceeds, no formalities are required. This is what we have to remember. If we want genuine relationship, we want hard to play in the relationship, then we will have to go for informalities after some time. So guarding is necessary. Another thing that is necessary is manure, fertilizer. The plant has to grow, then it must have manure. Then it will have quick growth. So that organic manure is very useful. What is that organic manure? That organic manure is so many types of virtues which are very helpful. Appreciation, apology, loyalty. What Stephen Covey has written a beautiful book, The Seven Habits of Highly Effective Families. The emotional bank account. Humility. That even whether it is a relationship with a servant, a maid servant, so many housewives come to me. Problem is I don't get a good maid servant. That's the problem. How can I say that there is no problem? It's not a problem of getting good maid servants. It is a problem of retaining them, and that is because of your relationship, your management of relationship. Because we want to get the same treatment from the maid servant as we think, without giving them the treatment that they think we should give. That's the problem. So humility is a big thing. Everywhere we see the great people. Swami Vivekananda said, I want to see greatness in small events of the people. I will try to guess, I will try to judge a person's greatness not by the great work he is doing, but by the small works that he is doing. How he is performing, how he is behaving with people, how he is behaving with his driver, how he is behaving with his servants. That will show his true nature and true greatness. Then we have one more thing. You know, when the plants are growing, weeds come up. These weeds have to be removed. Otherwise the plants will not be grow. What are these weeds? These weeds are greed. Greed for money, greed for power, greed for position. These are the things which come on the way of our relationship. Trying to find out, analyze in our family relationship, whenever, as long as relationship going on, as long as there is no property, no problem. Ja sampatti, vipatti. As soon as you come to know there is a will by the so and so gentleman made in the favor of so and so property, immediately there is a quarrel starting. Money, greed. Ours has become a consumeristic society. Western blind imitation of Western culture unfortunately has come, and that's why the life is miserable. You know how many suicides? How many suicides are happening today in the world? India, within last 10 years, it has tripled 3 times. But even then, it is 9 per thousand today, compared to 45 per thousand in America and 60 per thousand in Japan and all that. How many suicides rates are increasing? Only one, consumerism. The materialistic civilization, greed, affluenza has come, you know. Affluenza, people are dying now of affluenza. Affluenza resistant society has been built up by the parents of the children in America. And children are now dying, committing suicide. Psychic patients, mental patients, divorces. Previously 1/3 marriages were resulting in divorces. Now 2/3 marriages resulting in divorces. And some people are not marrying. If the animals are not marrying, why should we marry? Yes, this trend is coming in America, in Japan, in so-called developed countries. Unfortunately, in India also, gradually it is coming. As on today, fortunately, we are saved, our family life is saved. But if we are not careful about our relationships, it may go to worse. I heard about a very pathetic story. One of our devotees staying in America, his daughter told him one day, Papa, when I go to the school, there are about 40 children in my classroom. When I tell them that today my Papa gave me like this and my Papa did like this, they ask me this question, have you seen your Papa? Have you seen your father? That's the question, because they have not seen their father. Some of them, they don't know the name of their father. Single parent, divorces. So it has come to such a pathetic stage that the children, they are so much interested in knowing what is the matter. You have seen your Papa, it's a miracle for them, it's a great thing for them. Then the father of that girl went to the school with lot of sweets and all that, distributed to all the children and said, today I am your Papa.